Shami Sachta Ma'aseh Daf Mem Chesed Me'avim. This way get the Basavim Yerushalmי Mitzvot. Nishmas B'nei B'Aschai Esther. Avram Yaakov Lozer Ben Zelda Refuah Shalema. In the Mishnah we learned on Mem Heim and Beis As Keren Vay Mitzayin Noisef B'Kavotzes Adoma Shall Ola B'Chasis. Excuse me. Ola. You have to make a sign for Ola. What does it mean, make a sign for Ola? You have to make a siman that here's Ola. People can go by and they don't know that this is Ola tree. Tell them that this is Ola. It's an issue of Ola. Oh. So we're talking about in Shvius when it's Hefker. That's what the Shimon Loza says. Shimon Gamliel, I'm sorry. But the Tanakhama holds, even though they're taking something which is this, you still have to prevent them from taking other Surim. This has been Lifnaivech, right? So, Kashin Surim. That's the Machlokes in the Mishnah. But Ola Akaponim, you have to explain to people that this is Ola. It's one of the Surim. And we saw that the Toys Roim explains that Ola doesn't have Kedusha, like Keren Ravai and Net Ravai. It's only a Surim. Mishtok and Kedusha, like the other, even though I want to say Net Ravai is a Chedek from Ola, but Net Ravai has Kedusha, which Ola doesn't have. So it's not noig in chutzah, it's only that's the mitzvah in the Ola. Sure, that's why it's not noig, it doesn't have kedusha. In the Chinuch, explains that Ola has something which no other Issa D'Oraisa has. What's this? What Issa does Ola have? What characteristics does Ola have that nothing else has? Huh? That's not what it is, I know. I know, look, this I know.
It doesn't come with afterwards. It doesn't come with afterwards. It's like the oil muscle. They're doing early.
This is the Sefer Chinuch. Reish Mem Vav. Page Reish Mem Vav in the Mechon, and Minchas Chinuchs. The fish of the Torah Nehemah beferish ki sevoy al haaretz v'netatem the mashma daf geboretz. It's only in Eretz Yisrael. Beferish Omer Zechenu Levrocha Kedushin Lamates B'inyan Ola Kikach Nemer Ale Halacha L'Moshe Sinai V'ado Ose Sveika Muter. This is news to me. I never saw this before. This is a Mogeh. That Ola the Adin, all Yisurim in the Torah is Sveika Ose. Sofik is right. Something is Ose. Sofik is Ose. Sofik Rabbanan is Muter. Sofik Halacha L'Moshe Sinai is suffix to is the rice is about this also. Every child that learns starts to learn knows this, yeah. But all is different. Kikach ne'emar le'halacha l'moshe Sinai ba'ador also sveika muter suffix all the rice is muter. Kloima she'ein issa usura k'moi shar isun shebetoyre. Why? She calls man. She is chadash alein suffix b'dover. Shu osem in Atayah, yesh lo nidasa osem misavik. The kaimelon, sofik is the rice is osem. That's halacha mevas, everybody knows, right? Kol ba beirav. Kumoi came behind im aprush matayah, shu sofik halacha l'moshe Sinai is the chumah. Halacha l'moshe Sinai is sofik the rice is issa. Ubi inyan, issa ola ki balnu, ki beferish nema l'moshe shihei sveika muter. Fatih. So halacha l'moshe Sinai, that all the Safik Allah is mutter. Now, what is the real issue? Besides that, I never heard of this before, so that's son me that I never heard this before. But what's the problem with this? The problem with this is that the Torah doesn't talk about Svekis. Not Shach Svekis by the Reise. The Reise is Shlokas Svekis by the Reise. Klap Shema Yigay the Shlokas Svekis. So, what does it mean? The She used to say by Sofik ben Hashmoshes is Sofik Yom, Sofik Laila, Sofik Yom Laila. So what does that mean? That means that what? There's a Chefta for Nissa. There's a Chefta for Sofik. The Torah gave it a dim for Sofik. The Torah gave it a dim for Sofik. So what's shot to say that there's a Locha L'Moshe in Sinai by Allah that Sofik Allah is mutter. Because otherwise it would be Osir. Sofik the Reis should be Osir. But those state, Allah Moshe in Sinai, special the Zogavan, you should know that by Allah, Sveika is mutter. I tell you, doesn't talk about Sveikas. What's shaykh to say that the Sofik is mutter? I tell you, the concept of Sofik doesn't exist in the eyes of the Reis. So, Kapi Kutsu Bricha, the Shaka Sveikas. What's the Pshat of Sveika? Allah Moshe in Sveika is mutter. And Abazai, if there's no such thing as Suffolk, huh? What? About Tumah.
You don't know. It knows where it is.
No, he's asking like this. I'll tell you what he's asking. He's asking like this. Yeah, but he's not asking. He's asking for Tumah, Mishus HaYochid and Mishus HaRab. The din is Suffolk Tumah, Mishus HaYochid is Tomei. And so Mishus HaRab is Torah. The Freiks do that what? If Torah doesn't talk about Sveikas, how can you tell me the Reis of the Gedin is Suffolk by Mishus HaYochid? Suffolk is Osir, and by Mishus HaRabim is Suffolk is Mutter. Right? You learn after Saita. Saita was a Suffolk. Saita is Yom Etam Mishmatam. So Mishus HaYochid, that's why it's Osir. And Mishus HaRabim is Mutter. So you're asking what should I do Suffolk? Yeah, very good gefragt. But there, that's not the pshat is a chson yediyah by Saita. We don't know if she was metam or not metam. We don't know. We don't know what happened. There's yichud, there's kini, there's stira. We don't know what happened. So the Torah that it was kini and stira, she's also. She's surah, right? She's got to see the Gemara, she's over the Labala, the whole process, right? But if it happened to Shusarabim, it's mutter. That's not the suffix over here that we're talking about. We're talking over here the suffix olive. The suffix olive, mamish a suffix olive. There's a din because you don't know if she was metam or not. That's not the same kind of a suffix. You know, you're asking very good. But I think that's the chiluk. Now, so what does it mean over here that mitzayin al olah b'chasis? Why do you have to be mitzayin al olah b'chasis? Somebody goes by, doesn't know if it's olah, it's not olah. He doesn't have to be choshed that it's olah. If you know it's olah, that's choshed that it's olah. You have to be parish. You can't eat it. But if you don't know, so what do I have to go make a tzin for? Ich weiß, aber du weißt nicht. So was darf ich dir sagen? Oh, ja. Oh. Sagt du also. So, ich weiß, euch Sofik. Es ist kein Tumas Toim ist das. Tumas Toim ist keine weiß. Tumas Toim, nobody knows. The ganze Welt, keine weiß. One person in the world knows, not Tumas Toim. Sagt du also. This is the Minchas Chinuch in Ois Yud Gimel. Hine Loshen Rava Machaber, Dim Echad Oichel, Ein Chavere Niske Gleidieloi. Echad Oichel, Ein Chavere Niske Gleidieloi. Why? Weiß nicht. He knows, may guess, weiß nicht. Du weißt, du tust nicht. He doesn't know. Ein Chavere Niske Gleidieloi. Nirem is that. So it says it, Loshen from the Machaber. Ein is a Klal B'Sveka, She Yisrael, somebody has the ola in his possession. Beginos in his garden. And eats from the tree. He invited a guest and eats from the tree. Eina niska l'idiyah klal. Zok the Machaber, the Rabbi Chinuch, shu ola. Darf man nicht sagen. Ubinyan zeh metzina begemara shem zechon leboch tzafik li v'ano eichel. She calls man shel yoda adam bevada shu ola shori lemeichel mena. You don't know it's ola, even though I know, I don't have to tell you about it. Of them zok the Minchas Chinuch nirem is there. The dafke b'chiyai gavna. He goes like this. Boch aveiru v'ochem. What is the guy? Ogan taich rishon. Yes. Boch aveiru v'ochem imenu. Somebody comes, your friend eats. So the Mechasinuch, it doesn't say you're allowed to give him. Avlachila b'yidayim, eina yideya osa. You can't name a divi Rashi kedushin lamates. Got besofik li ayin shom. Avmedivi aran shom nida avlachila b'yidayim shori. He said the Rashi held as every chinuch. Mashen kein the chinuch says b'yidayim by so it's not mut. It's only he comes and eats it. But divi aran in kedushin the avlachila b'yidayim shori shekosav shebechol yisurim oivim al lifnei yiva. The kan mut. The Ran says that there is no lifnei yiva. Says Mishokah lifnei yiva. There's no lifnei yiva means if he eats it, I don't have to be mafish and meisuk. But it's not also b'chlal. He's learning pshat in the Ran. I don't learn the Ran anyway, but he's learning pshat in the Ran that you're allowed to give him b'yadayim. Why? What's that Mag Avram? Mag Avram says by Yom Kippur, you have to be careful. Look at Mag Avram. The kinder make the chesed for Yom Kippur. The children are allowed to eat. You have to give them to eat, right? But lachila b'yadayim, like the Mag Avram, a mother shouldn't give b'yadayim. That's how old the child is. The child can eat by itself. You can't give him b'yadayim to give it in the mouth of the child, because that's lachila b'yadayim. This is even though the child is allowed to eat. That's actually Mag Avram, but that's what he's saying. Shebechol yisurim oivim lifnei yiva kan muter. But lachila b'yadayim, there's a machlokes over here. If it's an isser or not an isser. If it's an isser, it can't be yadayim. He says here that the Ran holds it's also, and the Rashi and the other Rishonim hold that it's muter. B'chal nishkan isser b'chal. Oh, v'chein oh, b'im shitla geboyin gahu b'mog Avram yochas lulav. Shekosev the esek shel ha'olah chutz la'oretz yotzim bo yakim muter lachila l'chaveira. He says he brings the Mag Avram that says lachila b'yadayim it's muter. V'chein b'shitla geboyin kan b'kedushin. So Bazara boy say, "Frage Chayich, what's the pshat in the Mishnah?" The Mishnah states, you have to make a tziyun for Allah. Well, you have to make a tziyun for Allah because maybe somebody else is going to come and he's going to eat from this, right? He's going to eat from Allah. So I have to make a tziyun to tell him, "Hasan Yisrael." This is the bet what the Chinuch is talking about. Lachili b'yadayim is also. If he comes and eats by himself, it's mutter. Shetach b'ferish kamat mechinuch. So let the chinuch that it's mutter for somebody to eat, and I'm not giving b'yadayim, but so why do I have to make a tziyun? Why don't I talk about this? Make a raya from the tziyun. I said on the Mishnah that by all you have to make a tziyun. That's all from the Mishnah, right? One thing about us, enough mission. Oh, mitzayin noisik was shall all the chassis. You have to make a chassis. Means take a earthen piece of clay and put it down. People should eat from the other. What's happening? All the chmuta. A muta. I mean, it's not us. So I'm not leaving. Somebody else could eat it. Okay, so okay. Look at the Mishnah. Look at the head of the Mishnah. Keren Ravai. Oida Yerushalayim Halach Yom Echad. There's a Kohanes Chachamim to beautify the streets of Yerushalayim. So what the Chacham make at the corner? And Keren Ravai, wherever you have Keren Ravai, is Oida Yerushalayim Halach Yom Echad L'chol Tzad. One day, Hilach B'Reglayim looks like the Kohanes Bez looks like plain Moshe. Oyster Shi'alu Anovim Meravai Yerushalayim. You have to take the grapes from the kerem, from the vineyards, which are outside Yerushalayim. One day walk from outside Yerushalayim. Kol sheyesh mehem al chiyamech l'chol tzad Yerushalayim. K'farish Gemara Mishum she'oyu oysin yayim b'tahara. They used to make the yayim for the nesachim agav mizbeach b'tahara, the nesachim. By day kach, because they needed a lot of wine on the mizbeach, lo yehoyu anovim mitzvim b'Yerushalayim. You didn't have grapes that were mutz in Yerushalayim. Everything went to the mizbeach. So there were no grapes in Yerushalayim. It looked desolate. V'skinu shehei arvayim mehem oil Yerushalayim. They were masakin from outside Yerushalayim to bring import into Yerushalayim. Ochlam shom kedei la'ate shuki Yerushalayim, to make beautify the streets of Yerushalayim. Yes?
Interesting.
Very interesting. That means that you have to see the streets. Streets should be
Nice looking.
nice, yeah, nice looking. Yeah. Famous stories that Shlomo Kalabach has stories about the street cleaner in Yerushalayim. Guys clean the streets. They're going to tzaddikim, they clean the streets of Yerushalayim. That's Ate Shuka Yerushalayim. V'shakol yilun hoya aravai shalahem nivda afilu samach l'choyma v'chidani behedi b'tesefta. Put them in folder. Keren aravai yesh like din ma'aser sheni. Oh, he has a din of ma'aser sheni. What does it mean? B'tzorach la'alas ha'peis Yerushalayim. The zel b'din punkt hazeh v'Yerushalayim v'do adin man tumah v'yiras Hashem do adin ma'aser sheni. You have to take up the page and ma'aser sheni to Yerushalayim. The man tumah v'yiras Hashem or who or bonov. You have to find the lashon. But akaponim there's a mitzvah to take the page to Yerushalayim. Who adin net the Keren aravai. V'lochlam shon hen or pidyoinam. Either them or whatever you put it. But think the chachamim. So the chachamim came shemahal l'chiyoim. The distance of 1 day walking, kol seviva the Yerushalayim, yala peiris asman Yerushalayim, to bring up the peiris to Yerushalayim, kidei la'ate shuka Yerushalayim peiris, make it beautify the streets of Yerushalayim. Mitoch sheyachal adam kol keren revai shaloi yismala hashuk mi peiris, kol asviva, make it look nice. These often can miss the Yerushalayim. But the Asirila, Keren Revai or Yerushalayim, the fish on the Torah Kodesh Hilulim. By Keren Revai, it says the word Kodesh Hilulim. We go my Kodesh Ma'aser Sheni. You learn out from Ma'aser Sheni that it has to come up to Yerushalayim. Shetzorach lahalos apeiros Yerushalayim. By Ma'aser Sheni, the din by Keren Revai learns from Ma'aser Sheni with Gzeira Shova. Oilev Doisam. Ala kesef v'mala dom of Yerushalayim v'ochem shom. Either take the peiros itself or take the money from the peiros, take it to Yerushalayim. V'tik the chachamim the malachim echad l'chol ruach shelo yivdeyu. So you learn noch a knetch. Poshup pshat you learn in the Mishnah that the peiros of Keren Revai, if you're not paid it, you take the peiros up to Yerushalayim. Right? Keren Revai. He's saying like this. Not only that, tik the chachamim the malachim echad l'chol ruach. You shouldn't be paid it. Mitzvah opinion. If you want to be paid the payers, you could be paid the payers. He's saying Shelo Yivdeyu, and the payers Atzma Yalu V'Yechem B'Shnai Can Fire Shtam B'Gemor. And the Gemara says a tam, which is a tam. Lata is Yerushalayim to make it beautify the streets of Yerushalayim. Because why? Because everything used to go to the Mizbeach. So the payers was left without the payers. And we're talking. What are we talking about? Keren Revai, talking about only grapes, right? This is a vineyard. So the Mishnah weiter, the Ezut Chuman. Now the Mishnah gives us exactly the boundaries, which is the boundaries from where do you have to bring these payers. Ayeles min Adoram, from the south, it's Ayeles, that's the name of the place. Akravas min Atzavim, from the north. Lud min Amarev, the city of Lud, that was from the west side. Yaden min Mizrach, and the Jordan. That's the river Jordan from the east side. Mishirabu HaPeiris. Now, this was a corner because they didn't have payers. Everything went to Yerushalayim, to the Mizbeach, so there wasn't enough produce. Now later, when they became wealthier and they had more payers, there were more vineyards. Mishirabu HaPeiris. So what happens now? So now you don't need it anymore to bring it to schlep it from all around Yerushalayim. Mishirabu HaPeiris. They made another takana. Skinu shehei nivde samach l'chayma. You should be paid to the payers some of the chayim. What is my truth? Look at the pay Moshe. Mishrabu paid it. Oh, you mitzuyim b'Yerushalayim. Said have enough payers in Yerushalayim, so it wasn't necessary to bring it from outside Yerushalayim. Iskinu she'eniv afilu samach l'chayim. You could be paid it, but still now they made out the corner. You have to bring it to Yerushalayim. Meaning you can't be paid the payers because usually samach Yerushalayim you could be paid the payers. But here they made out the corner not to do it to bring it to Yerushalayim itself because they want to be la'ata shukri Yerushalayim. But now Mishirabu HaPeiris, so now they don't need this takana anymore. You could be paid and you don't have to bring the payers to Yerushalayim because Yerushalayim itself had enough payers. The Tanai Hoyadov, look at the Mishnah, there was a Tanai. In this Tanai, when they said you no longer have to be Mekayim the first Tanai, so there was another condition. So they put into the takana Yazir hadobel l'kamoisha hoya, meaning that the Tanai should come back, that you have to bring it to Yerushalayim. So they made a temporary halt, and they said you don't have to do it, because now we don't have to do it. But if the conditions change again, and you don't have the payers, so they said again, then we're going to say you have to bring it from outside Yerushalayim. So this was a temporary interruption to the first Kona. So the Moshe hakel lefiat azman. The second Kona, they said everything will be according to the circumstances. If you need it, you have to bring it. If you don't need it, the Bezdin will tell you don't have to bring it. Yosi Yoima, in Shechor Beis Hamikdash, Hoya Tanai Hazeh. When the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, so there was this night. What says it was this night? Zok the Pnei Moshe, Kloime, Dala Tanai Hu the Palik. If Yosef is mechulik on the Tanai that they said it goes according to the Fiazman, to the circumstances. So if Yosef said, no, that's not correct. The Vada Mishachar Hamikdash Lukulam Elechoshe Matan Shuk Yishlayim. But man, there's no Beis Hamikdash. You don't have to worry about the Itu of Yishlayim. Itu of Yishlayim comes because of the Beis Hamikdash. The Beis Hamikdash is machayim to make the Yishlayim should be beautified in Yishlayim. So I don't like to be Yosef. And if the Beis Hamikdash is not here, Lechoshe Shei Matan Shuk Yishlayim. I don't know what's the Vedas in Yishlayim, what's the Chuv in Yishlayim, what's the Kovet in the Beis Hamikdash, but I upon him, I say out to the Yosef. Ben Shi Aperis Meruvim Maloi. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be busy with beautifying the streets of Yishlayim if there's no Beis Hamikdash. As I have to be Yosef. El Demaide come out Tana Kamer that Tanai Hoya Ein Misai Sheyutzu Yaza Double Kamoishi Hoya. If the Chama are going to want to be able to switch it back, as they come out Yosef, the Loi Kacho Yatanai, El Tanai Azeh Kachu. Shehisnu, they made a Tanai like this. They made a condition. Ein Misai Sheyibdim Beis Hamikdash. He said, "Alles is totally in the Beis Hamikdash." As I held to the Yosef. Amy says she yitzu zot the mafud mishchar Beis Hamikdash hoyat tanai lefish lo lefish rabu hapeis kide amas. The Yosef not because of what you said, because they have now peis, they don't need it anymore. So they said you don't have to bring it because you don't need it. Look the night. Look the el mishchar when the Beis Hamikdash was nechrav. So the reason is not because it's enough payers. That's why you don't have to bring it. You always have to bring the payers. This nine never goes away. The only reason why they stopped it tonight from bringing it to Yerushalayim, not because they don't need it, because they have enough payers. This is a once they made the corner, even though now you don't need it, you still have to bring it. No, but then, if the Beis Hamikdash is not here, then there's no din of Lateis Yerushalayim. But if the Beis Hamikdash is here, I full of chat. I don't see that in Pnei Moshe. Tachman bring him because of it depends on Yerushalayim and the Beis Hamikdash. So then in Yerushalayim and Beis Hamikdash, when you have the Beis Hamikdash, so the streets of Yerushalayim have to be muter b'peis. Let's stay there. Was?
What's my purpose? After Chabona,
Have the what? The Malkam Hamikdash.
You can't step
Yeah.
in.
We go. Yeah. Right. We go to the Tanakama. Can under dinner. Yeah. Look the Rashi. Mishchar Beis Hamikdash on the right side, the second line. Mishchar Beis Hamikdash Tanai Hazeh. Sheiniv the Samel L'Chaima. I mean, the locha that I say is you can be paid the Samel L'Chaima. So he says like this. That's Bisman the Beis Hamikdash is kaim. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai who the butler could easily pay kam the Beyad Ukashiyim the Beis Hamikdash Tarzan. Yochanan ben Zakkai the one that was always busy. You should remember the Beis Hamikdash. So Iket Tam the Bina Ribi Pay is Beiket and Parish Yodel. Ein Misashi is the Beis Hamikdash Meheir B'Yameinu Yaza Dover the Kamoisha Hoya Shema'alach Yemecha Lo Yochel Doiser. One day outside Yerushalayim you can't be paid. So the Beis Hamikdash also Livnois Koidim Malchus Ben Dover Kedisa B'Gemara Etar Yishamei Beisai. So he goes to Chedushim today. One Chedush is about Ola. That from Gedenken that Ola there's no din of Sofi with the Isis there's no Sofi by Ola. It's a Moedik Chedush. The Torah talks about Sveikas. And now Chiddush is when gets down the Binyan Beis Hamikdash? Then. When? Soon. But who has to come first? Mashiach has to come first?
I wish I
You don't know. Huh? Yes?
Same thing with him, I don't know.
You don't know. Pashas na Melech Pshat. Kohen get Kim, no, the Seder Rambam. Kohen Kim Mashiach. Melech HaMashiach. And noch Kim the Binyan Beis Hamikdash. No? Kim Aboyna Beis Hamikdash on Mashiach. Steht dann auf in der Gemara, das ist nicht stellbar. Als the Beis Hamikdash wait when Far Malchus based over. Right? Before the Melech David is going to come and put back the Melucha where it belongs, the Beis Hamikdash is going to be built. The Beis Hamikdash is going to be built. The Reish steht da in the Gemara. And that's what he brings here. Mishum Hachi, Uksava Beis Hamikdash, Osel Yibonis, Koidim Malchus Bedav, Kedisa Ben Gemara. Mishum Hachi, Hutzach Ulasis Takonim, Zman, Oisa Do, Likashivne. Why do they have to make it in Zman of this time? Make a takana for the Beis Hamikdash, with the Ataz Yushalayim, because it's not totally in the Melech HaMashiach. It's not totally in the Melech HaMashiach. I don't know what he means by it. What's the maintenance of that? What does he mean by this? No, come on. So what? It's totally in the Beis Hamikdash. When we have the Beis Hamikdash, do I didn't from Meyata Zayin the Shuki Yushalayim. We have to make it nice. Sham halchem echad lo yuchel levdoiser. The Rashi, one of the early Rishonim. Sham halchem echad lo yuchel levdoiser. One day out of Yerushalayim, you can't make a pigeon. Because you have to bring it to Yerushalayim. B'ksava based on Mikdash also the Yibon. It's quite the Malchus based over. It could used to bring Gemara because of that halacha. The Gemara is going to say later, in one blot later, that based on Mikdash is going to be built before Mashiach comes, before Malchus based David. But that means before Mashiach. Mishum Hachi, Hutzachul Asas, the Konem is man, Oisa Adol, the Kashiyibne. So this is very good that we learned to Pshat the voice that we say that Makim Afishem Bayis. The Doadim, Kem Makazan the Kabonas, I feel on the Beis Hamikdash, right? Some Saibas Mavai and the Chuvas, you don't need even a Mizbech, you can be Makib the Korban Pesach. So it's busy, the Chassam Sofer has 3 Chuvas about this, right? You should be able to be Makib the Korban Pesach Bizman Hazeh. The only reason why you don't have to do it, the goy lotnish. But if the goy says tomorrow, Bibi comes out with a statement that you could be makib the Kom Pesach on the Harabayis, because Pesach it's a Kom Tzibin, because what's versteht there? Versteht schon einmal.
He doesn't keep kosher. He happens from Shabbos.
I don't know what he keeps, but he knows about. Trust me, he knows about Kom Pesach. Not only that, does he know about Kom Pesach? He made a statement about a year ago. That what's the pshat? Why don't we have to bring the Kom Pesach? Or why don't we have to leave the Yerushalayim, the Altstadt Pesach? Because if you don't bring the Kom Pesach, you're in Yerushalayim. It's the chorus. Not a joke. Not a joke. And Makim Afishem Bayis, right? And it belongs now in the hands of Yidden. And if the Yidden say you could do it, you have to either bring it or check out of Yerushalayim. It's a joke. So what is? So some Sofer in the Tshuva. So some Sofer wrote the Tshuva. It didn't belong to us. So there were goyim there, and the goyim didn't let us bring it. The goyim doesn't let you can't bring. But then there was about a year ago, Bibi made a statement, and he said like this: who says now if you go bring the Kom Pesach now, the goyim are going to jump and make trouble, right? To the land. And the government says, don't do it. But Bibi said at one point, he said, why not? It's a democratic state. Everybody can do what they want. You don't let. You're not in charge. We're in charge now, right? We're in charge. So now he says, yo, nish. So he said, everybody can do what they want. So all of a sudden it became a chiv to bring the Kom Pesach. It's a joke. All the Jews in Geshim doch, and there, mit the Chassam Sofer, mit ich weiß nicht, wer noch Geshim, was? Geshim not Jews, the größte Yidden Geshim Jews, aber kann mir auch machen sein, the Kom Pesach. No, but then the end of the Jews is everybody comes back. No, drei größte Jews, he comes out, the goy. The goy doesn't let, right? Chaim Zonafeld said you used to put a sign. Don't go here. Why did you put up a sign? Don't go up in the Malcolm High. That's why he's busy with these signs over here. Because you know that mechanisch gain, there's no chiv chorus. Mechanisch. But if the government says all of a sudden it's democracy, everybody can do what they want, so you have to either bring it or leave Yerushalayim. One or two. You can't just sit around on your house and say, you know what I mean, and Altstadt. That's what I mean. So Meheri Yibana Beis Hamikdash, Meheri B'Yameinu, darf ich warten, bis Mashiach kommt. Wer machen the Beis Hamikdash? Ich weiß doch nicht. But so steht da in der Gemara, man dachte, Mashiach kommt, der Eibishter bringen Mashiach. Wer bringen the Beis Hamikdash? Weiß ich nicht. I get into the Beis Hamikdash. Huh?